Hello and welcome to Echo Night. Echo Night and Echo Night Beyond and Echo Night 2, Nemuru no Shihaisha, form a trio of mystery survival horror games. These were really popular in Japan at the time and are still somewhat really popular in Japan anyway. This goes all the way back to like the Famicom, where you had things like ClockTower and Sweet Home, and then it travels all the way into like the 3DO with like things like Dr. Hauser and some Japan only games like Yamamura Misa Suspense from the Yamamura Misa detective novels, especially Kyoto Kumura Sanso Satsujin Jiken and Kurokishi no Kame. These are all in the same vein. You can think of them as sort of visual novels, but they have some proto survival horror bits to them. A lot of these games take place in mansions, which were fairly thought of in Japan as sort of like definite haunted houses, especially if they were like traditional Japanese houses. See also Ju-on or The Grudge, especially the originals. In this one, it twists that bit of formula. Instead of a mansion, it's all sort of methods of transportation. In this one, I'm sure you saw the opening. You have the ship Orpheus. You'll see your Dicha in the next game and what happens to that one. But this is a big cruise ship. Think Titanic, think Olympia, from the same era. In this game, we play Richard Osmond. It is America 1937. And our father has been estranged from us for a long time until we found a letter and a key we had no idea about. His house has just burned down, and we've come to survey the damage and try to find out what in the Sam Hill happened to our estranged father, who apparently hasn't been here in quite some time. So that's the first thing. And now we have control of our character. We have a police officer who has just told us as much. And we're here to investigate. Basically, this game has no combat. Combat is basically your wits. So that's part of the survival horror bit. But it's more a mystery thriller than it is survival horror. You're not going to get scared too much from what is coming up. So, let's take a look-see. First, let's take a look at our options. We are Richard Osmond. He's 25 years old. We can see our condition is best. Just like in... Remember, this came out in August 1998 in Japan. Didn't come out until August of 99 in America. And it didn't even reach US PlayStation Network until 2015. It was on Japanese PSN since 2007. So lag times are pretty intense with this game. There's a lot that they had to translate and make sure was where it is. So we have load of our pretty standard things. Our key configs are Echo Night 1 controls, the Kingsfield controls, and some random other things that they attempted. We're going to actually use the Kingsfield controls because I am used to those. If you didn't see me walking around trying to figure out what the heck was going on with the controls. You can even change the font, and I'll do that to see if they aren't easier to read. I don't know if that ligature is very good. We'll keep it to the default. You had one hell of a strange father, is all our police officer friend says. So let's see if there's anything worth looking at. We have this here lantern. Doesn't seem like there's anything. Now, a little note about the crosshairs. The crosshair is basically your hitbox. If you are flashing, you can move it or interact with it if there's something to interact with. So it doesn't seem like there's very much to do here. Just a chair that, you know, you can move the chair. Yep. And there's this fireplace. Doesn't seem like there's much going on. We can't pick up the lantern, so we do have a door, so we're gonna go through there. Now, I did play most of this game on my PS3. I pretty much finished it outside of one optional quest. So I'm not blind, but it's been a few years. There's a wind-up key, so we're gonna pick this up. Everything that you can pick up, you probably should. Seems like half of this building has been caved in. Looks like there's a bed. It's been burned to almost cinders. And a clock. It's locked. My father cherished this grandfather's clock. The hands obviously don't move anymore. So here's our hot bar. Instead of having to open up the menu the whole time, you have your ability to like look at your items down here, which is pretty neat. Okay, so now we have the clock. Very nice regal clock. There's the minute hand, and there's the hour hand, and a hole for a winding key. So we'll use that. So it's hold down the O button to crouch. What's this? A book? A lot of these games back in Japan, especially on the 3DO, were in FMVs, so this one being fully polygonal is actually interesting. But From Software at the time was very into making its own worlds. So we have something that runs essentially on the Kingsfield engine. We have traveled into the past, if that hasn't been obvious, with the rewinding of the clock and the suddenly we're in a train. Again, the theme of transportation, moving places is a thing in this game. So, we have a couple people we'll talk to, I guess. Wonder who this guy is. What is it? Go away if you don't want anything. Please, just let me be. We are passing through a tunnel. Please remain seated. So, always helps to look all the way around when you're playing a game like this. If you've never played a game like this before, I know walking sims have come back into vogue the last few years in America, so a lot of what I'm probably saying here is probably old hat for all of you. Just gonna take a quick look-see before we talk to the old man and the young girl. Yes? Have we met before? I'm sorry, I can't seem to remember you. My grandfather wanted to go on a trip. I didn't want to go. I want to go home. Spoken like a true child. Okay, well, I guess that might be it. That's a young man on a mission, I suppose. Good of us to move aside. Well, I guess. Let's pick that up. Let's take a look at this guy, if we could. Damn! He took the keys! And I think he's dead now. But he conveniently blocks the other door, so there's no way to go but back out the door. Well, there wasn't a place for us to use that crank, so I guess we have to use this ladder. I suppose somebody who just murdered a conductor probably locked himself in there. You can't open this with your bare hands, so we're gonna try this crank. What are you doing? Maybe you didn't hear me. Drop your weapon or I'll kill her. Are you mad? She's your granddaughter. Yes, she's my cute little granddaughter. But you're after me. You loathe me, not her. Have you the heart to take an innocent soul? Damn you! I knew you were after me for quite some time now. I'm well prepared. In my opinion, you're not suited for this. You're too damn honest and righteous. You are too nice to kill. But I guess that is one reason why you've made it this far. My granddaughter's life is in your hands. What shall it be? Looks like I win. Foolish boy. Sir, is there anything alright? Shut up. It's nothing. You didn't hear a thing. Take this. Oh, yes, but okay. So, what happened there? So the old man has been chased by the youth for quite some time. The old man has been possessed by demons, and killing his granddaughter is of no consequence to him. The blue stone, of which you will come to know if you watch my Dawsonate streams, or have played Dark Souls, will know the blue stone well, because Dark Souls and Dawsonate both reference this blue stone. It protects against the influence of the red stone, which we will meet soon, and has been in the title card for Echo Knight. Now, being possessed by demons, being able to prey on people vulnerable to money, bribe, nothing is beyond a man possessed by demons, possessed by the need for power. And that is something that does come up again in Demons Dark and Bloodborne in particular, especially even in Sekiro. So let us follow this blood trail. First, let's take a look, speak to the young child. She has nothing to say. William Rockwell is the name of the old man, and Crea Rockwell is the name of the young girl. Yes, it is kind of a reference to the Rockwell family in American lore, all of their wealth and prestige. The redstone, as I was just mentioning, makes its first appearance in the game. It is embedded in a dagger, unlike where it is in modern From Software games where it's like a companion or twin ring. The one thing we should talk about is we're not a spectral observer. We're not a phantom when we go back in time. We are actually there. So being pulled out at that moment was probably for the best for Richard Osmond. And, as we did find out at the end of that sequence, Henry Osmond did not die. He became our father and fronted himself as an artist, while also trying to take down the corrupted William Rockwell. So let's pick up this here book. And it is the Red Book. Really important item. Now that we've completed the tutorial, we'll take that. And we'll head down. There's a lot of art and paintings in this game. Nemuri no Shihaisha, which is the second game. Does a lot more with music than it does with art. So here is what we need to be doing. So the statues need to be facing one another. So let us move the chair. And we'll pick up the male statue. And there is a sense of heft because you move slower when you have something as heavy as a statue.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Come with me. You shall not leave. You mustn't go outside of this room. Is that understood?
Well, let's take a look at this here. You know what we do when we're told not to do a thing? We do the thing. First, let's rifle through all of his belongings. So this is a curing potion. Looks like a blue elixir actually in Bloodborne. It's pretty funny. Just a wooden desk. Nice leather sofa. Things you should, when you come into a room in Echo Night, there are things you need to locate pretty much immediately. These are light switches, and you must know exactly where they are pretty much at all times. Light is your only weapon against what is coming. So knowing exactly where the light switches are is super important. Move that over there, and we'll take a look at this here room. And it's a leather organizer. Do you wish to pick it up? So here is some of our first objectives that you need to maintain in your thoughts. The first one is you want to get in here. You need to remember that that is a thing. Oh, not this way. I want to go the other door. There's even bathrooms. A lot of pretty obvious things. This is a mirror, this is a toilet. Richard isn't very smart. He's not a big smartass about it. Like in some games. So leather organizer is a bit useful because it will allow us into the note system. The note system is pretty much where all the lore is so far about who you've met and who you haven't met. So let's go over some of these right now. This is Marvin Foremast. He's a male, and he's at father's house, the policeman that is investigating my father's house. Henry Osmond, in the past, the steam locomotive. The youth's name was the same as my father's. He was chasing something the old man possessed. He handed a strange blue stone to a little gay girl named Kreia. Frank Kielson, past. The officer aboard the train that cautioned me to sit down. The youth must have taken the key from him. William Rockwell, the past. He was accompanied by a child. They were traveling together. He used his granddaughter for a shield as he shot the youth. He had a strange knife in his possession. Kreia Rockwell, the past. She was terrified of her own grandfather. She took a strange blue stone from the wounded youth. Greg Capston. He appeared suddenly and told me to follow him. He departs after warning me not to leave the room. So now that we've rifled through pretty much everything, let's see if we can't get outside.
It's the light. They're not fond of light. I must fight the power that lurks within this ship. It is my destiny. I will come for you once this ordeal is over with. Stay here until then. You mustn't go down there. Is that understood, Richard?
So there is our instructions of how to defeat the ghosts, and the little girl is our first boss. We will find out about her soon. And these are another one of the light switches. And so we can try this here door. And we saw the ghost leave, which is probably never a good idea. Alright, so the light switch is right behind us as we get in. Very sort of Alan Wake, this mechanic, because Alan Wake plays with light in a lot of the same way. So let's take a look around the outside of the ship for a minute. We have our first ghost. These are how most of the ghosts will look like. We'll talk to him in a bit. And the first thing we're going to do is the first thing you should always do. That is always turn on the light. Locate the light switch and turn it on. Now with that done, we can take a look around. I'm going to crouch and we're going to grab this metal handle. I'm going to rifle around things real fast. See how the ship is navigating itself. Handle looks like it fits in there, so we're going to open the door and we'll find a map. So now our last option is available in the menu. And so now we have a map, which in true FromSoft tradition is useless. It is a flat line drawing of where you are. It does tell you how much of the game you've completed. And we've only completed 10%. This game isn't very long, but we're going to take it nice and slow and talk about things. And that's a machine of some sort. We're going to keep looking around. Bad view somewhere. Sucks, but we have our first save point. Save points are all telephones. It's like you're phoning home. Where you're connecting to who you are in the present versus in the past. So now that that's done, we've got our first ghosts to help. Most of this game, besides running from boss ghosts who will pick you up and throw you against a wall, like the little girl, is we are facilitating people moving to the other side. Unlike in Drosene, where you are essentially the ghost, helping the living understand and appreciate their time, we are completely the opposite in Echo Knight.
I should never have gotten aboard this ship. I promised her that I would return one day. I should have just stayed by her side. I wonder how she's doing now.
Because time is not linear in From Software games. Not only have we moved sideways in time to the Orpheus via the portal of a magical painting. Stop me if you've heard that one before. We have moved into the past, or into a different location, or sideways in time to a different location. It looks like we're in front of a fountain, dead of night, with a sad-looking woman in front of us. It's probably too late. He's departing in the morning. She coughs. It's our last night together, and I lost my engagement ring. Where could I have dropped it? I can't see clearly anymore. This sad-looking woman is sick, but she is engaged to a person that we did just meet. If we look around here, we find that we are not going anywhere very fast. Very much like Untended Graves. It is set up like a black box theater. Let's talk to him. We set sail in the morning. I won't be able to see her for a while. She's late. I wonder what she's doing. Apparently, she's not the only half-blind person here. Christina, where are you? I wonder what she's doing. She shouldn't be out in the cold in this late hour. Essentially, what we're doing is we're entering the memories of these ghosts. And like in memory, it's sort of set up like a black box. You're only focused on the immediate environment. And since this is also the past, because it is a memory, very important in From Software lore, you can change things. So, the sailor is the sailor we just spoke to on the Orpheus. We'll find out why they have all become ghosts in the future, but he wants to fix something that has happened to him. And that is, on his last night, before he was able to get on the Orpheus, he couldn't meet up with his fiancée, Christina. And that is because she was trying to find her ring that she lost in the amusement park. She couldn't find it because she is hard of sight. But her ring is here, and we found it. And really it's easier to see because the lights light up when this is active. So now, if we return the ring to Christina, we can help them get back together. Because now her worries and her anxieties will be settled for now. Oh, this is it. Now I can go see him. It's time. I'll come back home. I promise. Christina. Now if we go searching around again, I was too late. I'm sorry, but may I ask you for a favor? If by chance you see that person again, please give him this. I know I shouldn't ask a stranger for such a thing, but please. And she coughs. We help her find her engagement ring, but still she was too late, and they missed each other, and now he has passed on. He has died. But with this engagement ring that we found,
Oh my God, how could I have forgotten about her? Forgive me, Christina. Thank you for telling me. I will go to her now.
with being reminded of the memory of his cherished love, he is able to pass on. And what he leaves is this thing called an astral shard. Essentially, it is your currency for how many ghosts you've been able to save or help to pass on. Most ghosts aren't offensive, but there are a couple who have become poltergeists, angry at their state. Most are kind of in stasis.
Oh, it's so dark. I locked the door, but she'll still come. Why?
Hey, get out of the way. Sir, do you need any help? I'm busy. Leave me alone. Do you want something? What we need are these here gloves. Hey, what are you... What? What the... What the hell? Get away from me! Don't come near me! The look of terror on his face. So that, apparently, was this young man's end. Next time on Echo Night, we will seek to fixing the blown fuse that we saw earlier, which I believe is part and parcel of this young man's quest. We have some rubber gloves, which will come in handy when dealing with electrical stuff later. Trust me on that. Just trust me on it. There are some bits where this is definitely one of those point-and-click adventure games where things don't seem to make sense until you come to the conclusion of each puzzle. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time on Echo Night.